Trump's got the elites running scared. And it's a thing to behold, man. And I absolutely voted for this. So check this out. They got an article in Fortune magazine saying why Trump's tariffs will destroy the economy or something like that. Written by, right here, this guy, Sean Tully. All right, Sean Tully. So let's just go. So freaking stupid. Let's check this out. Hard to estimate the potential damage to the U.S. economy. Studies suggest that even if Trump enacts portions of agenda, the blow to U.S. prosperity will prove severe. Oh, wow, that's scary. And here's Steve Hanke of Johns Hopkins, who, if you've read Forbes magazine in the past, many years ago, decades ago, he used to subscribe to Forbes. I used to like him when I was a libertarian knucklehead. He says you can't win a trade war. Starting one, as Trump is doing, only ensures that both sides lose. So that's interesting. Is Trump starting a trade war? Let's take a gander, shall we? Let's see what, let's ask Grok. Say, Grok, what is old India doing for their, is India protectionist? Let's take a look here. So India has, India has recent changes show a shift from 2025 to 2026 budget / tariffs on luxury cars, motorcycles, and other goods from 50 to 30 and 40%. On solar cells from 40 to 20%. That means they had tariffs before Trump was in office. I'm just showing, I'm just saying. While adding an agricultural infrastructure development cost of 5 to 70% on select items. Duties remain high in electronics, farm products, reflecting a protectionist streak tempered with strategic cuts. Imports also occur a goods and services tax of 5 to 28%, typically 18%, and a 10% social welfare surcharge. India's tariff regime is complex, sometimes adjusted abruptly, such as in 2018, with a 60% hike on peas. Crazy. Overall, tariffs remain a key tool for India to shield its economy while navigating global trade pressures. Well, China. Oh, China maintains a robust import tariff regime, strategically adjusts to protect domestic industries, promote key sectors, and respond to global trade dynamics. Wow. So there you go. Trump is, and you think Mexico and Canada don't have trade, don't have tariffs. Mexico still has some imports taxes on us, tariffs, but beyond tariffs, U.S. imports face a 16% value-added tax. And for specific items like alcohol or fuels, a special tax ranging from 25 to 160%. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Programs like IMEX allow temporary duty-free imports for manufacturing and re-export, but permanent imports of sensitive goods, steel, textiles, lost some exemptions in 2024, adding costs. Well, 2024 is before Trump is in office. Crazy. That's kind of weird. So we got Mexico, we got Canada, we got Mexico, India, China. On tariffs, U.S. imports face goods and services tax in Canada of 5%, plus provincial sales tax of 15% in some regions, applied after duties, after imports. Special duties like 10 to 25% of software and lumber also persist. So while the USMCA ensures most U.S. goods enter Canada tariff-free, exceptions in agriculture, the retaliatory measures and non-compliant products means tariffs still apply in some specific cases. Oh, and by the way, they still have tariffs in Canada. You can only bring, I think, 98% of milk in Canada has to be domestically produced, if not subject to a 250% tariff. Don't quote me on that, but something like that. So, yeah, so no, you can import milk into Canada tariff-free, yeah, only to a certain percent. And then after that, it's got to be domestically manufactured. All right. So anyway, the issue is Trump didn't start all this. So this whole thing's stupid. But then part two of this right here. So here's an elite former dean of UC Berkeley. He says, Trump's tariff policy is a disaster. It's a disaster. No one benefits from it. It just delays investment that's unambiguously bad. Now, he's in Singapore as co-author of a detailed study on tariffs. Oh, is he? Really? Okay. Let's see right here. So again, right here, this is insane. It says we have absolutely no precedent for tariffs the size that Trump is proposing. Oh, he says it up here as well. It's insanity. Trump's stated plan imposed tariffs of never before witnessed weight, mostly at 25% on most, if not virtually all, imports. Never before seen. All right, so this guy's either a lying liar or as ignorant as can be, because we know the McKinley Tariff Act put a 50% tariff on most dutiable goods, which is a hell of a lot of them. Then we followed that up because the Democrats got in office in 1892 or 94, I can't remember. They reduced tariffs a little bit. Then we followed that up by the Dingley Tariff of 1897, which put a 52% tariff on most imported goods. So never before seen. And what happened to the economy then? 1897 to 1912, the economy took off. Then we have the Fordney tariffs. Not quite as high as a McKinley or a Dingley, but higher than Trump's in 1922. That was a roaring 20s. I think the economy did just fine then, huh? So we have tariff, all led to economic growth in some regard. Well, you can't say the McKinley did, but you certainly say the Fordney, and you can certainly say the Dingley Tariff Act had economic growth. Was it a cause? Was it a correlation that led to causation? I'm not going to say that. But we have 4 instances of massive tariffs: Smoot-Hawley, Fordney, McKinley, and Dingley, 2 of which led to massive growth, and 2 of which led to depressions. Now, you could say the tariff caused the growth. We got to say the tariffs caused the depressions. You could say the tariffs caused the depressions. You got to say the tariff caused the growth. You can't have it. You can't eat your cake and have it too. Either way, there certainly was a mass inflation. I can tell you that right now. There certainly wasn't tariffs lead to economic carnage, as the elites will say. But who benefits from the tariffs? From the elite free trade? Well, it's the rich, because the rich keep getting richer and richer and richer. The regular people aren't. Let me just show you again, as I showed you this chart a million times a Sunday. I'm going to show you. Here's our trade deficits with China. $295 billion. 344, 346, 418, 307, 382, 295. What does China do with that money? Well, the China actually uses that money to, as some people say, they invest it in the United States. They own $1 trillion of our bonds. They own some of our debt. Not a huge amount in the overall percentages, but they still own $1 trillion of our debt. But what else do they own? They own our companies. They own our real estate. We know for a fact that China and China-affiliated groups own land the size of Rhode Island. That's kind of creepy. And that's just what we know outright. How many China-affiliated people that we don't know who they are in here buying up our land, our property, our companies, and whatnot. Never mind all the intellectual property they steal. Do you want your economic adversaries owning your own country? And that's what happens. These trade deficits accumulate. The other country gets it. Yeah, they might put some investments to good work. They might invest in some of our bonds. I get it. But what else they buy? And when does it stop that the trade deficits cannot continue to go on? They say, no, dude, we own too much of you. We tell you what to do. So insane. But even worse than that sucks, but that's not even the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is what's happening to the wealthy. The uber wealthy have taken off, but you know who hasn't taken off? This is real weekly wages of full-time employed. This does not include part-time, does not include unemployed. This is real median wages. Real means adjusted for inflation. Has gone up 0.25% a year, amigos. 0.25% a year is a real median wages. Here is the all-transaction house price for the United States going back to 76. So we'll just take roughly 3% off for inflation. All right, so that's 5%. That's 5.5. It's 2.5. That's 2% above the real increase. And you can see right here, look at this. Look at this. It's going, here's 5%. Here's inflation right about there. Except for a couple years, it's always been significantly above inflation. And remember, real median wages is only 0.25% above inflation. So the cost of house has grown exponentially higher than your wages have. That's just a fact. And so we have this rich elite who's benefiting significantly on the net worth growth because of equity markets and things like that. We have some middle class people. I've talked to a guy today who's been able to take advantage of stocks. Freaking fantastic. I have too. But a significant portion of the United States citizens have not been able to take advantage of this. They just have not. And now they're being priced out of the home. They can't afford a house. This is just a fact, dude. Some of these people are stuck in their homes because they can't downsize anywhere. Because there is no such thing as downsizing when the house you're downsizing to costs more than the house you're in. Which is why, thank the good Lord, we have reverse mortgage ability. I'm telling you right now. But the elites are the ones scared. Because like, well, we've had free trade for 50 years. The guys in the academic ivory towers. It's benefited. Yeah, it has benefited you, hasn't it? It's about time it benefits some regular people too, man. Oh, but you're saying the market hasn't benefited regular people? Yeah, I have. If you're in the market, let's take a look. These are just people holding a retirement account of some sort. All right, all families, the median is 54.4%. That doesn't mean it's got to be stocks. It's just some kind of retirement account. So just a bit more than half of American families have a retirement account. All right, now we look into stock holdings, and they get specific to stocks. Let's go to right here. Yeah, we still see right there. 58% have stocks, 42% don't. And that's just who have stocks right now. You can see right there, 48.9% had no stocks in 2013. So these are just people who have stocks, all right? That's the percent holding, And the median of that is 52,000. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not sitting there saying they can't retire because I know Social Security is going to kick in. But let's see what else we got here. This is the percentage of people who have a savings or checking account, 98.6%. So it's not like people are ignorant about how to have an account. They know. This is percent holding that. Just let's see what else here. We got not savings bonds. I'm not even sure what other financial assets are, but 6.8%. Anyway, about half the population doesn't have any stocks at all. And just because you have stocks doesn't mean you had stocks for the last 20, 30 years. It might be new to, I mean, I don't know. But I'm saying there's a significant segment of our society who hasn't had the benefit of the mass equity growth that we've had. And I think we've had 50 years of this experiment of free trade to say it's benefited a number of people, but it's also not benefited a number of people, and they're being left behind. Oh, and they're a huge voting base, significantly more of a voting base than it is for the top 1%. That's for doggone sure. And if you want to stay in political power, you better appeal to these people. And the way you do it is say, hey, we're here to help you. We're going to help you. We're going to help you with the tax code. We're going to help you increase with Social Security. We're going to increase Social Security to help you because I know a lot of you guys don't have financial assets, or at least retirement accounts, or stocks in particular. And to discount that as these economists do, like, we're all going to be better off financially, the evidence is just not there, dude. Because that would be like saying we're all better off financially now. Now, you might make a case. I get it. It's cheaper now to buy a TV. Yeah, 100%. It's cheaper now to buy this MacBook. 100% it is. And to put tariffs on there is going to tax the imported goods, 100%. And you will probably have to pay a little bit more for some goods until that industry develops where it can actually be self-sufficient. And when that happens, most likely the product line will come on board, and it will be, I'm not going to say we'll ever be able to compete with slave labor, but it'll be done internally where we don't have to rely so much on our domestic or foreign adversaries. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, love your thoughts. God bless. Keep going, Trump. This is what I voted for.